Hi, my name's Tim. I'm living with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a disease that's impossible to pronounce.
So we've done a couple benefit shows for Tim. The first one was in July, and it was the project of Mike Soleno. We really formed the organization in June, basically, and Mike said, I'm ready, I'm doing this.
He was incredible. Just nobody asked him to do it. When people were emailing Kaylin and I with ideas, so many people had benefit shows, but nobody had the impetus or the drive to do it themselves. And Michael he dove right into that, and he just took charge. It was incredible.
Yeah, the night was super special because I think I saw a lot of people there I wouldn't normally see out at a show. Like there was the core group of people that would come to see the bands that we had, but we wanted to put together a quality lineup that would draw not only the people we thought it would draw or the fans that like those bands, but we got people coming out that I never seen before.
I guess it was the beginning of the Off and Awesome kind of organization and movement, and it kind of got everything off to a great start.
That benefit show was the first time that we all were like, oh, wow, he really is sick and we're doing this big thing, and everybody's making shirts and putting buttons on with Tim on them. And it was a little freaky. I think I was uncomfortable with it. I think it scared the shit out of me a little bit, because up to then it was just, his sickness was sort of this nebulous thing that he sort of told us about. He had a little bit of a limp, but it wasn't like, and then he was really nervous.
It was definitely at a time when I was uncomfortable, really, it felt like soliciting money, and I hadn't really been out beyond my circle of friends since I had been diagnosed, so it was a bit nerve-wracking to kind of go forward with that. I was nervous on a couple different fronts.
He was not necessarily in a terribly positive place before the benefit show, and I think he didn't really have an idea of how many people wanted to support him.
Why did I participate in the benefit? Because I just, like everybody else there, just loved him and wanted to help him out, and was really shocked at the diagnosis that he'd been given.
Of course, when I found out that he was not doing well, I wanted to do whatever I could to support him.
Of course, I was going to play a benefit show for Tim because he's my friend, brother in arms, with touring with Kudzu Wish, playing Kudzu Wish and all that, top buttons too.
I mean, the beauty of doing anything for Off and Awesome is that all we have to do is just say, we're doing this for Tim, we're doing this for Off and Awesome, and everybody has just completely jumped at the chance to say, how can I help? Can we play? What can we do? Even people that don't know him, people that have never met him, never talked to him in their lives, everybody just wants to help and wants to be a part.
Once it got going, of course, it was great. It was exciting because we were really proud of our band, and it was like, wow, we get to immediately play in front of a lot of people. And they're gonna pay attention, and we're kind of helping out the guy in the band, and it was good. It was a good night.
Well, see, the vibe in the room that night was incredible. I mean, it was just purposeful and powerful, and all the performances were fantastic.
It was very much focused energy, very alive and hyper-focused on just really positive intentions and love.
We didn't really know what to expect. I had no idea how many people were going to show up. I had no idea if it was going to be, 100 or 200, and then it ends up being, $350, $400, and that was rotating in and out all night. And we were taking donations, and there were people who'd come in and drop, would drop like $100 in the bucket and leave. Like, these aren't even people who came to see the show. These are just people who heard about it and just wanted to help.
So it was fantastic that people were so gracious, generous, and giving Tim money at the door. But it was just a great vibe, and it was a great awareness event. I know that's important to Tim as well.
I was just really honored that everyone wanted to do it, and that it came together as well as it did. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't know what I was going to feel coming in, and the second I walked in, it was a very upbeat. It was a very upbeat vibe in the air, and I wasn't uncomfortable at all. It really kind of turned things around.
I think the first benefit show was watching his face light up as people came and people played and people talked to him. It was incredible.
It was just a real honor to be a part of it. It felt like the beginning of the community coming together, unlike I have witnessed in years. I mean, everybody was there for the same common goal and cause, and it just felt really good. And I think it was the start of something bigger.
It was a good vibe and a good time, and people learned a lot. And it really, since it was the first event, I think it motivated a lot of people to get involved further. And we all got pleasure out of doing it, so it just motivated us to keep trying to help Tim out.
I think it's just really important that that people be aware of this disease, and that people remember that musicians are always the ones that end up kind of starting revolutions and getting people to focus their attention and their energy on things. Musicians are always the ones that have the ability to bring people together. And so, besides everyone that has come together being a great group of people, mostly from Guilford and other communities, Greensboro in general, most of them are either artistic or musical. And it's just good to remember that we are good at bringing change, and that we have the ability to do that. So it may not be tomorrow, but at least we can keep trying.
Well, I'll die trying, I'll never give up. Even when the odds are down, when no one gives a fuck. And even when pigs are flying, hell is frozen up. Well, I'll die trying, I'll never give up. And I know it's hard to love someone whose head is in the stars, but don't give up, hold on soon, until I've kept my promise and have given you the moon. I will die trying, I'll never give up. Even when the odds are down, when no one gives a fuck. Not even when pigs are flying, hell is frozen up. Well, I'll die trying, and I'll never give up.